you? I hope you're well. So today's video, as you can see by the title, is going to be a bit of a discussion about how YouTube can become a therapist for people. This is something that I have a lot of mixed feelings about because, well, there's like positives and negatives really to it, and I would love to get a discussion going. If you want to do a video response or just leave a lengthy comment below, I would really appreciate that because I really wonder how other people feel about this. I'm going to link down below to a video that Dodie did. Other YouTubers have also talked about this, but Dodie's video was perhaps the biggest one on this subject. Some people, some YouTubers, use YouTube kind of as a therapy, or their YouTube audience, so whether it's through YouTube or through Twitter, Snapchat, whatever. And I don't know whether that is good or bad, because on the one hand, it makes sense, you know, you've just built up so much closeness with this concept as the creators. It makes sense for them to have built up this like audience and this relationship, and they feel like very supported, and that's great, isn't it? And like the fact that they can share their problems and maybe some people in their audience relate to them, and brilliant, like that's really helpful. I don't see negatives there. But then you flip it on its head and you think about like how, you know, the creator is relating to all these people, and then all these people are relating back to the creator so strongly that that enhances like the feeling that they know the creator, and that really widens the creator-viewer divide, because it perpetuates this idea that you know the YouTuber, that because you've been watching them for a long time, and especially when you feel like you've heard them say their deepest, darkest secrets, or they're like, you know, them talking really like in a raw way about their feelings. A lot of people, especially young people, will feel like they're very closely connected to this YouTuber. Because the creator is treating the viewer as they would a friend, like they speak in a way and about subjects that you would to a friend, then it only makes sense that the viewer would see it the other way around. So they'd feel as like a friend. And that over familiarity then becomes a problem, because then when the YouTuber does something you disagree with, it feels like you've got the same right as a friend to tell them, yo, I disagree with this, where you have no right, because it's a random person on the internet versus another random person on the internet. Neither of them know each other. This kind of makes me uneasy, because sometimes YouTubers may overshare, or well, what is oversharing really? Like, what is the right amount to share? Like, at the end of the day, you are sharing things about yourself when you've got a YouTube channel, and that is what's appealing about it. But on the other, there's definitely a line where it makes people uncomfortable, be like, ooh, I don't need to know about that. Sometimes as well, when you're in a problem and you've thought a lot about it, you've kind of like become comfortable with some concepts about it because you've thought about it for a long time. But when you say it out loud and record it on a video and put it out there, somebody can be watching that, and that can be their first experience on that topic, and they've never thought about it, and so you're kind of throwing them at the deep end. I don't know, I really don't know what to think, because yeah, you can't dictate a line. There isn't a line. It's quite blurry, like what do you share, what don't you share? Because then the other approach to it is some YouTubers just don't share about their personal life, so they don't share about relationships they're having and stuff like that. But because they're kind of like celebrities, people end up finding out through events or whatever, just like gossip, rumors, and then it ends up becoming official, and then they have to talk about it. So like, on the one hand, you can't keep stuff secret because it will get found out, but on the other, you have to, because otherwise you're perpetuating this, like, it's not a toxic relationship, but it is like, it is feeding a beast that shouldn't be fed, you know? I don't think it's good for the creator-viewer gap to be widened, and for the viewer's relationship with the YouTuber to be so different than what it is the other way around. I don't know, I have a lot of thoughts, I don't know. Another thing about it as well is that a lot of the times a YouTuber will make a bunch of videos like around a difficult time in their life, and then years later, despite maybe them having privatized or unlisted those videos or even deleted them, those videos are still around and people can still watch that video, and they don't necessarily see the time it was uploaded, and so therefore they think that that is where that person is at now. I don't know, there's like something really weird about this, like the fact that there's all these like past versions of yourself online, and you can't tell which one is the current one, and you can't tell the one that somebody might just pick out and be like, wow, they're a piece of shit, they've got some problematic views, So say for example you opened up about a mental health issue and you gave people like some advice or some tips on how you cope with it. What if years down the line you realize actually those were really toxic ways of dealing with it, but that video is still out there and that advice has still affected people? Regardless if you take the video down, people watch that video when you put it out and follow that advice, and you don't know what's happened with that. There's quite like a big sense of loss of control when you put something out there, and when you're dealing with like feelings and personal things. I guess that's why it feels right to not overshare. I'm kind of getting to the point of the title. I feel like YouTubers use YouTube as a bit of a therapist because they talk their problems out with their audience. I think overall it's probably safer not to do that. Not just for the audience, but for the creator too. Because the creator clearly would need to be doing this with an actual therapist or their friends or their family. But then you can't tell people what to do. Some people like post like big rants on Facebook about how they're feeling and stuff. So like, it's just different ways of sharing it. It's not YouTube exclusive. And in fact, it's anyone with social media can be doing this, can be like using social media as a therapist. Can we just all agree, instead of using social media or shutting it in, let's use family, friends and therapists to deal with our problems? Let's just agree to do that. Okay, well, I hope you enjoyed this video. Please, let's have a conversation about this, because I find it a really interesting topic. Give me your thoughts. What do you think? Do you think that it's a good thing or a bad thing? Do you think it's good to be relatable and to allow like your audience to see your vulnerable side and that you're not perfect? Or do you think that actually it's better if you keep that as a straight line and you don't cross it? But then are you shutting the discussion down? And it's so good to promote discussion because then people don't know that they have these things. Anyway, I hope you've enjoyed this video. Click the thumbs up button to support the concept of thumbs. I have new hair. I didn't talk about this. Didn't address it at all. Maybe that's a bit weird. Yes, this is my natural colour at the roots and blue at the ends. That's where I had it bleached, so now it's just going to be blue. I'm going to let it grow out. So I'm quite excited. I like it. I like it very much. I hope you do too. I'm going to put my last vlog here and my VEDO playlist here, and I hope that you have a lovely day. Bye!